Now that we know what each step is supposed to do, let's ask the very important question. What could go wrong? And that's what we do in failure analysis. We think ahead and imagine all the things that could go wrong, so we can understand and fix the problems before they happen. Failures happen when functions don't work as they should. We have already identified the functions of the process items, process steps, and process work elements. Now we will look at how these functions can fail. Just like one structure can have many functions, each function can also fail in many different ways. Our job is to list the possible ways each function might go wrong. The different ways a function can go wrong are called failures. Now we will match each function of the process items, process steps, and process work elements with the failures that could happen to them. You may have noticed that so far we have only talked about failures, not the other terms like failure modes, failure effects, or failure causes. Let's break these down. Process step failures are called failure modes. Process item failures are called failure effects. Process work element failures are called failure causes. So we are not just saying something broke, we are connecting the dots. If you go from the higher level to lower, you can visualize the why relationship. In the case shown here, you ask the question, why does the wheel flange fit loose? The answer is found in the process step failure of step position going offset. Further, if you investigate why the step position got offset, the reason can be found in the tool setting being biased in dimension. On the other hand, if we go from the lower level to the higher by asking the question, what does it do? You can see the linkage. The tool setting being biased offsets the step position. The step position offset in turn leads to fitment problems on the vehicle. The why it failed and what happened because of it relationships help you identify failure chains. Visualizing failure chains makes your FMEA effective towards solving problems. The failure analysis step gives us a crystal clear view of how small issues on the floor, like a slightly loose fixture, can snowball into bigger problems down the line. Once you have identified the failure mode in focus, you do not need to go around searching for causes and effects. They are all there. All you need to do is to link them together to a failure mode. Link up related causes from among the failures of work elements and link up the resulting effects from among the failures of the process item. Finally, a failure chain that you can see here will have one failure mode caused by multiple causes and leading to multiple effects. With FMEA executive software, you can build these failure chains easily. Here is how it works. Your FMEA tree already shows failures for the process item, process steps, and process work elements. Expand the failure mode that you want to analyze and double-click. It opens a link to causes and effects. Follow this link by double-clicking. The next screen shows you a tree with your selected failure mode, variation in step position. Click the Link Effects button from the Effects tab. The system will show you a choice of possible failures on the process item. Select and link the relevant ones that are the effects of the failure mode under consideration. Similarly, on the Causes tab, clicking the Link Causes button will show you the possible failures of work elements. You need to connect the ones that will cause the failure mode. You click to connect the failure chain. Causes, failure modes, effects. You end up with a failure chain that makes it easy to trace the problem from the beginning to the end. You are aware that you need to take action on causes to prevent the failure mode from occurring and leading to the consequent effects. No more scrolling through messy spreadsheets or flipping through binders. You can spot patterns faster. Like if a certain tooling keeps showing up in your failure chains, it's probably time to take a closer look. You work smart and spot the real troublemakers before they cause chaos. When we do failure analysis, the goal is simple. Find out what went wrong and make sure it doesn't happen again. To do that, we need to write failures in a way that makes them clear and useful. Think noun verb. The noun tells us what failed, and the verb tells us how it failed. For example, instead of saying leak, say seal leaks under pressure. The more detail we give, the easier it is to fix the real issue. So don't just describe symptoms, describe exactly what's failing and how. That's what makes it actionable for the FMEA team.